Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Argos Anonymous. We are fallen behind, thanks to the glory that was Collecticon Orlando, on some patron box openings, and Sting hungers for sealed product. Man, what a crazy time that was. So many people have put out some great content, videos showing the Comic-Con in Orlando that was the last weekend, just kind of having fun wandering around, interviewing people, showing the cards, showing everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip some of that because it's been done. Because here's what I did. I went to Collecticon and I started, I went with the goal of just, doing tons of videos, and I did get some footage of some key things. But then I started meeting people, and and that was awesome. And then I started wandering around meeting more people, and then those people met, we met some people and hung out and had some fun, etc., etc., etc. By the way, this is from a patron, Cheeseburger. Good luck, my man. We got a couple of boxes, a couple of random things for you for this week. Anyway, here's what happened. I decided, if I had to choose between making 100 videos or meeting 100 people, I should choose the people, because it was just so awesome putting all of these faces to the Discord names, and the website orders and the Patreon and all that stuff. It was so cool the whole time, and hearing everyone's story. And so what I ended up doing for most of Collecticon was just wandering the lines and just talking to people and asking, "Hey, what are you getting signed? Who's your artist? Or what's your jam? Why are you here? Why MetaZoo? How'd you love it?" And it was so cool just seeing the random things people like, "Hey, reserve list or a fact black hole shard." That's a good start. We'll take that, Cheeseburger. Yeah, man, it was cool. It was so cool seeing when people were getting excited. So what we're going to do some openings over the next week or so, and share some observations and some video footage and some screenshots and all the kind of random stuff about the Collecticon. One of the first things that I would love to... Reverse Mothman! Dude! Coming in strong. We don't see too many full hollows coming out of these boxes. I've never gotten two of any Mothman out of a box so far. So let's do this is our quest. Cheeseburger, you've already got one. All you need is one more, and you go down in history. Well, for second edition, anyway. You go down in second edition Crypto Nation Base Set history. When you know people from an online environment, Snallygaster, right? It's cool. Then you build up a perception of them. Right? This includes if you see people on YouTube, you see them in Discord, you see them talking. Even if you talk to them, the voice chat's a little bit different because you can get kind of a better idea for people, I think. But when you strictly know them from a text-based online environment, you build up in your mind sort of a perception of who they are, what they're going to act like, even what they look like, And the best thing about this for me is you immediately reset some of those preconceived notions when you meet the people. And it's really interesting to see who people really are. Obnoxious 9, Silver Bullet, very, very nice. Let's give him a cute little sleeve and put him up next to the Mothman as a hit. So I want to talk about some highlights of some people. I mean, there were all the people, the Discord and the Patreon, all that stuff. We did a lot of stuff. So on Friday night of the weekend, we all met at a place called Ice Bar, or a lot of us met at a place called Ice Bar, and we hung out, and we invited the fantastic friends of the metaverse, the Kitchen Table TCG people, George and Louie, and they came, and that was cool. King Pokemon came and hung out, and that was cool. A bunch of patrons came, and some of the Caster Society team came, and a bunch of the MetaZoo cats came. We had Poncho, several other artists. We had some of the we'll call it behind the scenes staff as well. Some people from Discord. The infamous Chaos Crystal enthusiast was there. Lots of people were there, and it was really cool just being able to hang out and have a few drinks and watch some fire and watch some ice and just enjoy that. Actually, some people ended up playing MetaZoo in the ice bar on a table of ice, which was super awesome. Hey, you're starting to move into full hollow mode. Do you see this? You got Quetzalcoatlus, you got Chupacabra. That's cool, man. Your turn. It's getting turned up. So that set the stage for a weekend where people just kind of knew each other a little bit and were just relaxed. And then from there on out, it was just awesome. It was just really cool. The event started running on Saturday, and you had MetaZoo event staff running this event. And they ran a couple of different events over the weekend. It was really cool. You had like 60 plus some odd players show up, and they're playing that event. Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall, there is the chaos unfolding of the rare, chasey, tasty MetaZoo things that are being given away in the actual conference, right? Now, MetaZoo's had to evolve this quite a bit. So it used to be just kind of like one just insane line coming off the MetaZoo booth, and it's changed a bit now where they had 3 lines going, and they were just going all day, it turned out to be a really good idea. Because some people, you don't want everything. You might as well diversify, right? So they had one line which you could stand in if you wanted artist signatures. And that line was 2 hours long all day, every day, at least. Because it was packed. People loved it. Even though you had all the artists there, and they were just jamming things out, and they were moving people along, they were meeting people, being friendly, all that kind of stuff. They were working hard. There were just so many people that wanted MetaZoo artist signatures, that there were probably a couple hundred people in that line nonstop all weekend. And that line went off one direction. You had another line going off the other direction for different things like the plushie, the rare limited egg plushie. You also had Wilderness pre-orders. You had Mike's signature, like special sort of things that were going on. And then you had a third line for the cards, which was a great idea because it actually does not take very much time to pass out a Wilderness spoiler card. So they had a third line for spoiler packs. It went super fast. So basically, there was no reason anyone who was there could not get a spoiler pack this time. Anyone who was there could easily get a spoiler pack. It only took 10 minutes to get through the line most of the time, except for, Sunday. For whatever reason, one time on Sunday, it just went super long. Beautiful, full hollow Eternal Snowflake. While I was there, I originally intended to try to get Vanilla Ice to sign an Eternal Snowflake, but I guess I got distracted, which is kind of a loss. That would have been amazing. Do you think he would do it? Just be like, Vanilla, I'm a big fan, sign my Snowflake. He'd be like, what? I hope somebody did that, because we were kind of joking about that ahead of time. Anyway, so really good structure, and during all of that, everyone just got to know each other, hanging out in line and finding out where everyone's from. We had people from Canada, people from all over the United States there. Hey, Bigfoot! Cool, man. Congrats, Cheeseburger. So you've got your Obnoxious 9 so far. You do have your Bigfoot. You've got your Mothman. You have your Quetzalcoatlus, Chupacabra, and a bunch of full hollow Orifacts. It's going pretty well. We're following the Bigfoot. Let's do the box topper. Why not? Yeah, it was cool. So, what I did not see a bunch of, there was a joke about New York that, hey, beautiful city, this is a good one, man. Oh, people like city because of the artwork. The coloring is really, really nice on it. Look at that. Look at that shine. Yeah, you didn't see like a bunch of, and I don't mean to stare at you. If this describes you, it's not personal, but you know what I'm saying. You didn't see a bunch of mid-40s guys in Yankees hats like lining up with 10 Mothman, getting them all signed, and then immediately hitting Facebook, right? Like, you'll see a couple of them, but if you think that because a couple of people post flips on Facebook that captures the essence of the Comic-Con, then, you're just going to live under the shadow of inaccuracy, because that's not how it was. People that were going to get stuff signed, yeah, there was a lot of great stuff, but there was a lot of just random stuff, like, sign my Tops box, or like sign my Ghost Deer. I mean, just passion cards, random things that people like. That's what they wanted to get signed. There were people wearing squonk pins. Like, I am a firm believer that if you're wearing a squonk pin, you're not in MetaZoo to flip. You're in it for the passion. A ton of fans are just wearing MetaZoo t-shirts, wandering around. I mean, once they had the MetaZoo plushies, people are throwing them back and forth, having fun. My point is, it was very clearly a MetaZoo fan base that was at this Collecticon, and it just filled it. It filled it up, and so that was really awesome to see it. You had spontaneous games of MetaZoo were being played on tables out by the food, like the cafeteria. There were, of course, the event was going on, and people were play testing and stuff like that, and sharing their ideas. And then in the con, you had multiple competitive teams that came. A lot of us have heard of Caster Society. You also had Obnoxious 9. There were a couple of other guys. There was a team from Chicago, teams from Texas, right? You had multiple teams coming to play, and they're going to be going to these things as well going forward. They were sponsored by stores. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. But by far, for me, the coolest thing, the number one thing about the con was the people. It was awesome. I met so many of you. I met some of the other content. Hey, hell yes, you did it! I knew it! I had a feeling. Cheeseburger! Congrats, man. Full hollow Mothman. We'll put next to the reverse hollow Mothman. That's super cool. In the King's seat. Awesome. Oh, that's a good box. I love it. I met so many of you and met some of the other content creators. And it was cool hanging out with Mike. We got to hang out and have a beer. Except I was having water because the rest of the weekend was not kind to me. So by then I was just trying to hang on, man. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. You know, one guy that I met though, and I want to talk about this at some point in some of this rambling video. One guy that I met that was an interesting meet because you hear quite a bit about him on the internet and you hear, you know, all sides of different stories. Was Gary King Pokemon, who was there to do box breaks, and he was there because his wife does a lot of fundraising for autism and whatnot, and so they were trying to raise some money for some electronic smart boards to use for autism classrooms. And a pizza bird. Wow, dude, you're turning this into a really nice box. Cheeseburger doesn't wait for anybody. Are you serious? Look at that. Let's recap. You got your Bigfoot, Sam Sinclair Silver Bullet City, Pizza Bird. Let's take out the Quetzalcoatlus because he's good. Metal Man of Alabama, a bucket load of Orphax nobody cares about, and Quetzalcoatlus. Cheesy cheese. You know, you got one more box and a couple of release decks we got to open for you, man. We're going to have to get this going. Yeah, Gary was there. And you know what? It's the first time I'd met Gary. And I didn't know. You never know what to expect. You know, he seemed like a normal fella, right? From my cursory observation of internet happenings. I got to tell you guys, Gary, no matter what you think of him, I know there's some people that are passionate. Gary is like the nicest guy. Like he's just this super nice guy. I just want to give a shout out. Thank you for being such a cool human. He was just there and he's smiling at everybody and he's giving out hugs and he's nice and he's just talking to people about MetaZoo and cards and collecting and sharing the passion, you know, and just being a genuinely kind human being. And I just thought that was really cool. And then let's see, who else was there? Darian Bruce was there. He had some t-shirts. He actually gave me one of them. We'll show him in the next video. That was cool. He had Wilderness t-shirts, and a ton of people were wearing those t-shirts, which was cool. He also had the Dimac t-shirts as well. You just can't go home with just one silver bullet. What if you need a backup? All right, fine, we'll give it to you. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. And so, yeah, Gary was there with his family, right? You had MetaZoo Dev was there, which is his son. And then, let's see, they were there with his daughter, and then his wife was selling for charity, and then he did that massive box break. That was cool. Mr. Applesauce was there. Kitchen Table was there. A bunch of cool cats. And then all of you fine folks. Tons of metazoologists I got to meet. Oh, man, it was awesome. So I would suggest, if you have the opportunity in the future around Dallas or Charlotte or San Diego, you know, like they're going all over, or New York, they're going all over the place. Now, if you have the chance to go to one of these, meet these people, and gain that insight into the kind of people that they really are, because the internet is kind of an insane place, you know, and text-based conversation, although helpful, you know, is kind of a shallow medium for getting an understanding for who people are. And I just think if you can just drive not too far, pay a ticket price, and get into one of these and connect with all these people and see who these people really are, you will come to understand why MetaZoo is one of the reasons MetaZoo is taking off, is because we have a community of people that is so engaging and awesome, and there is so much kindness and passion for the hobby in all these people, and it just radiates off of hundreds of people lined up to get stuff. They weren't even pissed that they were in the line. They're hanging out in the line, and they're just excited to be there, and they want to show you their squonk. They want to show you their cactus cat. They're going to get signed. It was so cool. So if we did meet, thank you. Thank you for being a kind human being and an awesome member of the MetaFam. Thank you guys for showing up and filling it out and contributing to this awesome hobby. If it wasn't for all of you, this would not be nearly as exciting. So I hope to see you again at a future Comic-Con. We will be, splicing in some more footage and random things as we catch up on patron orders. But for now, that's all I've got. This is Argos, signing out.